You ever meet someone who just flips your whole world upside down in the most unexpected place? Yeah, that happened to Michael. Picture this. A billionaire CEO, sharp as a tack, in a $5,000 suit, pacing nervously over a $2 billion merger deal that's got him grinding his teeth. Deadlines breathing down his neck, lawyers spouting legal jargon he barely understands, and then he ends up in this dusty little diner called Rosie's. No place for someone like him. Sounds like the setup for a bad joke, right? But hold on, it gets better. Michael Langston had built an empire tech gadgets, software, the kind of stuff that defines an era. He ruled boardrooms with cold blue eyes and a temper as fierce as his ambition. But here, in this diner with chipped tables and neon signs flickering like they might give up at any moment, all that power felt miles away. He was hunched over a contract thicker than a brick wall, lines of legal gobbledygook that even his Ivy League lawyers struggled to decode. That's when Grace Harper comes in. Waitress, 28, green-eyed with this quiet fire, hair thrown up in a messy bun, moving like she's been juggling plates and spilled coffee forever. But more than that, she's someone who notices the little cracks in people: exhaustion, frustration, barely hidden anger. She slides a glass of water onto his table and asks, "Rough night?" Not the kind of question you hear in a boardroom, but in Rosie's, it fits. Michael snaps back, sarcasm loaded. "What, you're a lawyer now? Stick to pouring coffee, sweetheart." Classic billionaire ego. But Grace just smiles, unshaken. "Try me," she says. And this is where things start to twist. She picks up the contract without blinking. Instead of the usual glazed-over look, she actually reads it, like it's a puzzle she's itching to solve. Turns out, Grace wasn't just a waitress forced into this job to pay the bills. She had a pasta-brief stint in computer science before life pulled her away. Her mom got sick, her brother needed help, and the dream got shelved. But her brain never stopped working. Piece by piece, she breaks down the contract. From Michael talks about indemnification clauses like their car warranties, escrow stipulations like piggy banks you can't touch until certain promises are kept. She points out risks that even his top lawyers missed, like loopholes that would let the other company back out if his stock dropped. Her explanations? Simple, vivid, with analogies that hit home. Michael's arrogance starts to crack. Suddenly, this waitress isn't just a distraction, she's the sharpest mind in the room. Michael's curiosity flips into respect. "Who are you?" he asks, half amazed, half defensive. Grace shrugs it off. Just someone who's good at figuring things out. And yeah, that understatement hides a lot. She's been teaching herself to code in stolen moments after shifts, building an app on this idea sleek communication tool that could change the game. But no one would take her seriously. No fancy degree, no shiny resume, just late nights and stubborn hope. Michael, whose company was losing ground to rivals with better tech, sees potential not just in the app, but in Grace herself. "You know what? Someone would take you seriously." "I would." He stumbles over his own words, remembering how he'd called her sweetheart and dismissed her. But now he's offering to back her, bring resources, funding, a team. Grace's skepticism is thick. Why trust the guy who just mocked her? But he's honest. "I know talent when I see it. You saved my deal. Let me return the favor." The next few weeks? A whirlwind. Michael uses Grace's insights to renegotiate his merger, saving millions. He goes back to Rosie's with a proposal: let's build that app together. Grace agrees, but on her terms. Keep her job at the diner until the app launches, and she wants a real say in how it's made. For a guy used to being in charge, that's a challenge, but he respects it. Working side by side, Michael begins to see the world through Grace's eyes. Long nights coding, scraping by, family struggles. He meets her mother, frail but fighting, and her brother, caught between dreams and doubt. For the first time, success isn't a solo climb, but a community effort, born of resilience. 6 months later, Connect Fear launches more than just an app. It's a lifeline. Fast, secure communication for businesses and people who need it most. Grace becomes a rising star, inspiring others overlooked by the usual gatekeepers. She even starts a scholarship fund for working-class students, paying forward the chance she almost lost. Michael isn't the same either. He revamps his hiring, scouting talent in places no one thought to look: community colleges, small towns, diners. Because brilliance doesn't wear a suit or come with a pedigree. It just needs a chance. 1 year after that first night at Rosie's, Michael sits in the diner again, this time not alone, but with Grace, no longer just a waitress but a partner, a tech leader. The jukebox hums a familiar tune, the place buzzing with possibility. Raising his coffee mug, Michael toasts to underestimating people. Grace clinks her mug, grinning, to proving them wrong. They laugh. The city lights flicker outside, oblivious to the quiet revolution sparked at a diner booth. It wasn't just about an app, a deal, or money. It was about seeing people really seeing the man, realizing that the world's bigger and brighter than any boardroom could ever imagine. But here's the kicker: how many Grace Harpers are out there, ignored because they don't fit the mold? And how many Michaels are still blind, chasing power while missing the real genius sitting right in front of them? So what do you think? Is this a story about breaking barriers, or just a lucky twist of fate? Where do you stand on the fine line between talent and opportunity? Drop your thoughts below. Who do you think deserves the credit? And how often do we let bias blind us from recognizing real brilliance? Share, debate, and let's keep this conversation alive.